All right, y'all, I'm Kate Johnson. I am about to record my last debrief about my Scaling New Heights 2021 first accounting conference. Look, I got the shirt on tonight. I'm sitting outside my kids' jiu-jitsu practice, and this will be my last one. I hope you've had a chance to watch all my session debriefs that are a part of this playlist where I outline my takeaways from each training session I attended. There were 13 of those. So I'm going to try to make this coherent about my overall thoughts. I tried to organize it a little bit. So first I'm going to just share some facts. This conference is definitely like Intuit focused. QuickBooks Desktop, QBO. I don't know if it will ever be any different, but I'm almost certain it's not going to be wildly different next year. So I just wanted to make sure people know that. They're a big sponsor, although they weren't there this year, but because they are still very into COVID protocols, so they sent only one person. They didn't have a big presence, but all the training and everyone who's there is like a QuickBooks user. That's just the truth. Another thing, so I'm 40, turned 40 this year. And it's hard to guess exactly, and please don't be offended, folks. And if Woodard is watching this and y'all want to tell people I'm wrong, feel free to comment below. But when I remove the vendors, because there's a lot of cool young people selling software, accounting software, if I try to guess, like, you can kind of tell who they are, remove them, I would say that I'm probably in the younger quarter of attendees. Maybe the percentage is even less than that. I'm not making a judgment call. I'm just sharing info. All right, quick background change. As I was recording my first comments, my kids finished class. So now I'm back in my driveway. More facts. Next year will be Scaling New Heights. Is going to be June 19th or 22nd in Orlando. And he said there's going to be a Cyber Monday and a Groundhog Day sale. So I would wait for those days. And the theme is Thrive. And it looked very exciting. That's the details about next year. So, more facts. The sessions started at 7 a.m. If you have been watching all the session debriefs I went to 3 7 a.m. sessions. And that started to get tough. And I'm a morning person. Like, I have it on my website that I'm a morning person. So I don't know if other industry conferences start that early, but accounting conferences do, I guess. The conference is open to anyone, but there's a subgroup of people who pay to be a part of something called the Woodard Alliance. It's like a training and mastermind group, and they have like subgroups all over the country. And a little side note, I saw several other little packs of people, larger groups of people eating, and I kind of investigated, and there are other little accounting mastermind groups, and that were kind of traveling in packs, and they knew each other, and there were moments that I was kind of envious of that, but they are putting in the effort to have these relationships and to pay for the mastermind and the training and the meetings, and they're showing up at the meetings to make friends with these people, with their little group, and so I don't know if, I'm going to be joining an accounting mastermind group this year or not. It might be something I should do. But in general, I'm just saying I could tell that those people were getting a lot out of it. It was nice to have friendly faces, and they're clearly have like this cool camaraderie that is good. And one of the things I've noticed is that everyone who seems like, it seems like almost like a requirement to be successful. All the, not Woodard Alliance necessarily, but like the people I see who are selected to be teachers, to be, who are serving and are considered thought leaders and experts. I think they all have like study groups and support groups. So it was interesting to just be able to see that and witness that these little, relationships that obviously go back a long time and are strong. So that's fact. Woodard Alliance is like a subgroup of the Woodard Institute of Woodard that puts on this conference. All right, got to move on. We're getting dark. My favorite sessions, or this is the next section, my favorite sections are the interactive ones, with the exception of Veronica Wasick's, who was definitely a lecture style, but hers was really good because I think she really knows her stuff. I liked the Nate Haggerty, my session number 6, if you want to go back to that one and watch that one. I liked Robots with Ben Eichholz. That was session number 9. And I liked those because they were less theory and more like concrete. Let me see. Oh, it was such a big deal for me to come here. I wanted to learn like I was like in school, and not like the boring required classes full of, giant lecture hall. I liked the hands-on. Yeah, I'm not here to kind of tune out and mouth breathe just to get CPE credits. So what else? Okay, tips. Y'all, it was not easy to meet people. I had a goal of meeting 3 people each session. That definitely did not happen. I did not speak to 3 people in each session. And I would say that talking to people is not something I'm terrible at. So, but if you don't go to a conference, I know, and if you don't go to a conference and meet people, then you're kind of like striking out. Like, you got to meet people if you're going to go to this. So one trick that I used when I was tired of just trying to make myself say, hey, I'd like to introduce myself because I set a goal to meet 3 people, is to go up to someone who asked. So the tip is to go up to someone who asked a question in the session, because that means they're kind of got some guts to talk, and it was like an easy way to follow up. Like, oh yeah, I had that same question too, or I don't know. Rather than just like a total like blind like approach where you're just going up to someone and saying hi, use someone who asked a question as a way to just start a conversation. Second tip, look at the slide decks before you decide on the sessions. If they are crazy long with tons of words, or worse, like tons of like screenshots of tiny little numbers that you think they're going to work through, those, like, they can have a couple screenshots of lots of numbers, but I found that I was most pleased whenever I was able to look through the conference slides ahead of time. There was a few sessions where the speakers had not submitted their slides, I guess, and actually those were the ones that I thought were least good. Oh, third tip. Go to at least one stretch session beyond what your goals are for the conference. So I went to this one about RPA, which is like building robots on your computer, and I think of that as kind of like a seed planting session for me. It was definitely a stretch, but I didn't need to go to like another marketing session. Like, I need to go to work doing marketing. I don't need to hear people tell me how to do it. I need to go do it. But this robot one was like the stretch one. Okay, so a few technical things. Oh, okay. The words Google My Business were mentioned multiple times. So I put 0 effort into my Google My Business, but it was like probably twice a day, and there were sessions on Google My Business, but even in sessions that weren't about Google My Business, talked about Google My Business. So I feel like that's probably something I need to start paying attention to and take more seriously. Okay, next thing I want to share. I felt pretty dumb with all of my papers, so I printed off my little template that I had taken a picture of and shown everybody, that I was going to fill out. So, but it's what I'm capable of right now. Like, my life trajectory has not put me on a path to be some super tech person with the fancy little tablet that I'm writing on and then saving and some awesome organizational system. I'm just not there yet. So I want to keep making small improvements, but that align with my personal vision. So I think that I might set a written goal of trying to buy a writing tablet to take notes. Like, I think there's something called Remarkable, maybe. Anyway, but that could be a goal for like the next conference. Figure out how to take these same style of notes, my 3 learnings, and then my 1 takeaway, but to where I'm not like this little spazoid up front who's like flopping through all these papers. But it's what I was able to do. I'm glad I did it. And I just encourage you that, like, I think it's better. It was better than nothing. If I hadn't done this, then I would, I guess, have walked away with hardly any takeaways. So, this was better than nothing. And, there were a lot of people who were either not taking notes or they were taking notes on tablets or stuff like that. And I felt silly, but I pushed through. Me and my printing paper. Okay, and then speaking of tech, and low tech, business cards are, I guess, low tech. And we were supposed to be like scanning each other's badges to meet each other and like put it to create the list of people we met at the conference. I did not know that. And not a single person came up to me and initiated offering me a business card. And I'm the schmuck over here who bought business cards for the conference to pass out. If you listen to my very first opening session, I said, like, I have a goal of passing out these 100 cards. So, anyway, that was a crash and burn. People were nice and they took the ones that I offered them, but no one initiated it. So save your money, I guess. You don't need to buy 100. All right, what else? All right, I'm going to let y'all know, if you watched the very first video on the playlist where I went through my written goals, here's an example of my paper. All right, let me tell you how I did. So my first goal was I couldn't blow my son's Spanish lesson streak in Duolingo, so I had to do his Spanish lessons for him 4 days, and I did it. So he didn't blow his Duolingo streak. Now, complete notes and action template for every session that I attended. So I had printed off these papers, and I completed that for every session. I went to all the sessions I could, except for the last one, because I flew out. As a part of that sheet, I was supposed to write down 3 new people I met in each session. Did not do that. Some sessions I did. Some sessions I got 0 names and hands shaken. I did finish recording debrief videos for every session. Hope y'all like that. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So, tried to find, another goal was to find someone who would like to use the app Notion with me, to implement Notion as, to apply what we learned in the Get Things Done by David Allen session. I did not find a Notion friend. I even took a picture and posted it like on the conference picture place. That I took a picture of a note that I wrote saying, does anyone want to learn Notion with me? I'm Kate Johnson. Contact me. And I don't know. So I don't know if that means I shouldn't use Notion or if I should charge ahead and try to find a buddy to learn this with, because I like learning together. I told y'all I did not pass out the business cards like I wanted to. And as a result, one of those, on the back of the business card was a subscribe QR code to this Bookkeeping Side Hustle YouTube channel. And I wanted to get 200 new YouTube subscribers by the end. I am up 36. So way missed that goal. It's okay. You're going to win some and lose some. Another goal was to make sure folks know to send me their FreshBooks client referrals. That's kind of a vague goal. Don't know how to do that. So I'm wearing this hat, FreshBooks hat. I want to work in that GL. So if you have any clients and you're watching this and they use FreshBooks, send me that way. Here, I'll take my hat off actually. Oh. People to meet list. I checked off everyone on the list of people that I wanted to meet, with the exception of Joe Woodard. The conference was enormous, epic. I don't doubt that he was just working super hard. I think I actually saw him roaming like one time, and he was in the middle, and I think I was tired. It was the last day, and I was tired of walking up to strangers and just shoving my hand out. So, it didn't work out, and he was busy. So, otherwise, I made my list, and I met the people that I specifically wanted to meet. So that's my goal debrief. This video is longer than it should be. I think going to a conference, y'all, it is so different from my life here. It was super valuable. The presentations, especially on the last day that Joe gave, and the keynotes, and then the hired speakers, like there's some. The software vendors got stage time, and those were good, but then he also paid to bring like professional motivational speakers in. And if you've never had a chance to do that, it is just a privilege. It was a privilege to be there. I'm grateful to my husband for like allowing it. He was able to take 2 days off of work, and then one day he worked from home, and we made it work. And I set this as a goal at the beginning of the year that I want to go to an accounting conference this year, and so I'm super grateful that Scaling New Heights, took the time to meet in person and to do this, and that I was able to work out. I will definitely go to another accounting conference. I think it's important. I don't know how soon. I think I would like to end up teaching at one day. I think I'm probably going to write that as a written goal at some point. So I need to kind of process, like, how that would work, and what I would teach, and how to get on the list. But the people I did meet, just feeling like a professional. I think that's what it was. Like, I am someone who goes to professional development events, and I'm with other business owners, and it definitely, like, I say this a lot, that the word side hustle doesn't mean not serious. It doesn't mean hobby. And even though I am pleased that I, try to work limited hours, and I don't want a huge book of business, and our family has, my business falls under, like, the overarching, like, family goals that we have. It still feels awesome to be, like, a real entrepreneur, and that's who's at this conference. Real business owners are at this conference. And so I think it was a great mental shift for me, and I think it would be for y'all. So for everyone in your neighborhood, obviously that's a way to save a lot of money, so you don't have to fly. And I bunked up with 3 other women. We shared an Airbnb, so that cut costs down. And I had never met them, but we connected online, and I didn't feel like I needed to worry about stranger danger. Figure out how to make it happen if you can. Set it down as a written goal, and it'll be more likely to happen. All right, long enough. Scaling New Heights 2021. Thank you so much. Thank you to Woodard. It was a real privilege and blessing to be there.